be another one where we'll go just as long as last time, except it won't be 45 minutes of Christmas music.
That was fun.
Although that was fun. Like people had some good comments, and people had some.
We needed to pick
me
me up after losing Burrow for the season.
Yeah, that was kind of rough. This game,
boys making noise.
The boys making it's just me and the boys popping. This game.
Yeah.
I thought Dobbs might have been knocked out immediately. Yes, congrats to Noobs. I tailed
some. He hit it again?
First touchdown player.
I missed it.
Oliver was like 60-1, man. At some obviously offshore didn't get even close, but some people had 70-1 on Oliver.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's the gift that keeps on giving for the holiday season.
I want to see anything as good as Noobs is seeing first touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I mean, just white tight end. I don't know.
Yeah, the tighty whitey tighty.
Tighty whitey tighty.
Tighty whitey. What is it? Tighty whitey.
Yeah, MGM had 60 right up to post there. So
tighty whitey tighty angle.
Dobbs is just pretty light, man. It's just highly fucking efficient. 11 for 13.
Pretty light is pretty good. I don't know. Yeah, that's not a bar. You think Dobbs is that good?
Well, he's just efficient. Like, I don't know. He doesn't have the weapons that Purdy has, obviously. We got something called Brandon Powell getting more and more targets.
Is that number 4?
He loves Hawkinson.
He likes number 4 too. Yeah.
He loves. I think that's. I'm gonna have to look what Powell's number is. Obviously, you have Addison out there. I don't know how people feel about this. With I looked at the look ahead number. Yeah, Powell is number 4.
Powell's number 4.
Minnesota. It felt like there was a little bit of steam to, like, maybe Jefferson plays, maybe he doesn't. I didn't think he was going to. I did take the under for, earlier in the week. I said maybe there's some steam around him playing. I don't think he plays, and we get a number boosts up a little. Didn't really happen, but the Vikings have a bye after next week, so I wonder if it's one more week. We'll see. I have no idea how he's feeling. I've read a bunch of the beat reporter stuff, but this offense with Doc Hawkinson, Addison, and our guy, obviously Jefferson is very, very good. I think Dobbs is just kind of getting it. Like him and KOC are jiving, so this could be a good offense. And this is a tough defense. This is a defense that's been playing a lot better last month.
We don't say jiving anymore.
Kudos to
both vibing now, Andy.
Jiving?
They're vibing.
Vibing?
Yeah. No one knows what jiving means.
What movie was that where he's like, did you call me a fucking jive turkey? And he's like, no, man. I called you a motherfucker or something. I think that's the Flint Tropics. I can't think of the name of the movie. Semi-pro. Anyway, what do you think? What do you think of this total? Total 20.5. Broncos minus 2.5. The Broncos got it done a little bit, but it was more on chunk plays. Sutton, as I mentioned this the other day, and maybe I didn't say it on the air, but like Sutton could be CeeDee Lamb in a better situation. He's so good.
I'll be honest with you, man.
What?
I don't think we're seeing any more touchdowns. Under 20.
You want to double down? I have the under. Yeah. I'm fine with that. Vikings, as you mentioned off the air, Vikings have perfected this bend but don't break. I like Vikings. I like the under. We'll just go under.
Under 21. I just got in for 110. I don't think.
There's a 20. There's 21s all over.
I don't think there's any or many more touchdowns coming in this game.
I am going to do a small stake on places that if places let you do this, and there are places that let you do this. Vikings +2 and the under 21. And basically, there's a lot of situations where this second half ends like 7-7.
Yeah.
9-9. A lot of field goals.
Like 6-3.
Yeah. So I kind of like that. It's a nice +260 kind of little parlay for you there. Yeah. I am going to imbibe him at I think it's on the strip somewhere. The Bodog Casino on the strip.
Oh, .lv. So it's in Las Vegas somewhere.
That must be in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas somewhere. I've never seen it.
Any other thoughts on this game?
On a Fremont?
I think it's off strip.
It's at the end of Fremont, like at the very end.
You guys who go to Vegas, you would have some fun if you got off strip sometimes. Like I ended up at a place called the Cannery.
The Cannery,
The Cannery. There's all kinds of just goofy casinos all over the place.
Yeah, well, best place to get sardines on the strip.
I don't know if that's true, but it was a fun little local joint.
Only place I'll ever eat mackerel in Las Vegas is the Cannery.
I've never had good mackerel anywhere else. Thoughts on Russell Wilson outside of the?
He's been pretty bad. He's a tough hang. He's a tough hang.
I love the El Cortez.
It's right next. I think that's right next to Bodog.
They used to have like dollar. What do you call it? Craps. That's
fun. That's like Patty O'Shanahan's. You remember that place?
I remember the first time I walked up to the El Cortez. You know the marquee. They still have one of those where you can put the letters up like a movie theater marquee, and it just said 1,500 points equals pack of smokes. Like as far as like their players club points, that's just all it said there. I have a picture of it somewhere. I'm like, well, we got to check this joint out.
I mean, you literally sit there and smoke a pack of cigarettes, play in the roulette, and then cash in your player points for another pack of cigarettes. Yeah,
they do have nice table games there. I love Fremont Street. So
outstanding.
Thoughts on Russell though?
He's looked poor.
It's been slightly better, but again, it's been on those chunk plays.
My issues with Russell Wilson is he's not scrambling. That's when he's his best. I don't know why he's not scrambling.
They are spying him a little. You saw that when he scrambled back to his left, and you could see
he feels like a sack waiting to happen right now. So, like tonight feels like a sack waiting to happen. And he's only gotten sacked once. But
each quarterback only been sacked once. Dobbs obviously took I love KOC, and I love what he's done. I love what he's doing. But maybe we don't. Yeah, so I'm saying
this isn't keeping up. This isn't keeping up.
We don't need the direct snap to Hawkinson or whatever and pitch to Dobbs for him to just get jacked up by known criminal Kareem Jackson.
Known criminal. That's right.
Yeah.
Fresh out of jail, he immediately tries to kill the quarterback.
Yes, he just got in trouble.
Fresh out of jail.
What an absolute. Yeah, it's just. It's like
going to the liquor store. Let's go into the deep dive. I don't have any more thoughts on this game. I
don't either.
I don't care for this game. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the deep dive. Andy, let us recap a week 11 that saw the Green Bay Packers win. The Chicago Bears almost win. And I guess some other stuff happened. But boy, oh boy, does it feel like not a lot happened in this week 11. And maybe that's just because some of the bigger teams have yet to play as we wait Monday Night Football with the Chiefs and the Eagles. Maybe it's because the biggest thing to happen this week happened on Thursday night with Joe Burrow getting hurt, ending his season. There was a lot of backup quarterbacks that played today, Andy. There was a lot of super huge dogs that stayed inside the number for a while. Sometimes some of them got home. One of them won outright. I guess commentary on today, looking at it from a macro sense, was the market was pretty dialed in to what the fair price is.
Yeah, it's almost like we're 3 months into this game.
Wow, these numbers were so close. San Francisco got bet for 10-14, landed 13. Seattle, LA got kicked back and forth around pick'em, ended up Rams -2. They won by 1. There was some close calls in the old spread department outside of the New York Giants, who apparently should not have been huge dogs to the Washington Commanders. Commanders not a team you can lay the points with, apparently. And Commanders, I don't know if you can really take. I don't know. Like, if you can make...
Yeah, that was a 6 turnover game. It was really hard to... The Commanders' experience is a whole thing. And real quick aside before we start in on the games, do you remember that much? So Cal is bringing up...
My mind is still blown. I'm still looking for the skull, the back of my skull.
He opened like a kiwi, a fresh kiwi, and inside of it was the $100 bill that
he peeled a kiwi, and it was inside the fruit. How is that possible?
I don't know. We were very We were very not with it at that point in the night anyway. So it seemed a little more magical maybe, but fuck, that tripped me out. All right. What's first off the rotation then?
Well, let's talk about Bengals Ravens real quick. Ravens
Okay.
lose Mark Andrews for the season. Bengals lose Joe Burrow. I think that's obviously not a fair comp, but this
one of those guys is worth
season's
10
over.
times.
Season's over for the Bengals, and season is like the big winners of the week were the Ravens because of how the rest of the games went. Like
Yeah,
they
I
have
thought about that with the
99-ish%
Cleveland
chance of
win.
making the playoffs now. But they tried to run their quarterback into the ground in the second half of that game with a lead that in no way, shape, or form Browning was going to threaten, but they did it anyway. Then they decided to back way the hell off and give up a garbage time touchdown that blew the second half under in that game.
Yeah.
So that hurt especially badly.
There's a lot of hip drop, tackle discourse on the timeline.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert. I don't feign to be some tackling expert.
I've been teaching hip drop for a long time, and it hurts me to see all this.
It's one of those things too. Like if you look at it from the point of view of like, hey, it's like, yeah, you land on guys' legs an awful lot when you do it that way. They might look into it. Who knows? I don't have an opinion. I moved Burrow to Browning is like 6 points.
Easily.
I think because they've gotten the running game a little bit better of late. It looked okay at times, and I'm going to count like the short passing game in with the running game. Mixon wasn't bad. I'm more hesitant to drop it a full like touchdown to Browning. We'll see. It might be more, but for now, it's a 6-point adjustment for me. And somebody asked in the timeline, I moved it about a half point for Andrews. It's hard to do too big of an adjustment for a non-quarterback, but he's on the field so much, and he's such a big part of that game plan. So I did, you have to take that into account a little because there's a decent drop off from him to like, oh God, what is the guy? Isaiah Likely is the guy that's going to step into that role for the most part.
Coastal Carolina legend.
Likely 80, meme legend, Likely 80. How many live bets I'm going to fire off today? Likely 80. Good job.
All right.
Sunday.
Pittsburgh, Cleveland is the first rotation. This closed 2.5. Pittsburgh lost by 3. Total close 34. Somebody bet this over into the close, which I did not.
Yeah, I saw that ticking up. I'm like, oh no, baby, what is we doing?
What are we doing? Yeah, this probably should have gone down. Pittsburgh's offense was drawing dead in this game. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I'm going to assume that the Jaylen Warren touchdown catch or was it a jailbreak running jailbreak? I'm going to assume that made up for at least 50% of the Steelers' offense overall today. There was a chance for voodoo, Andy. There was an opportunity for voodoo.
They had the ball at the end.
There was an opportunity.
They had the ball a couple times. It wasn't quite. So the Steelers did end up with 250 yards. Somehow they had some things that started moving a little later. It wasn't pretty.
They had 77 yards passing and
it was crossing the street 100 times
rushing.
So, but when they had that rush of 74 yards in the third quarter, coming into that play, they'd only had like 65 yards leading into that. So, I mean, prior to that, the first half was very, very rough. It was one-sided, and even that, it's not like Cleveland was great. Yeah. But there are some holes. This is kind of like Buffalo, where we just view this as like, hey, this is a really good defense. Like, yeah, it was. But
Max Payne in this game
was a few too many holes to be a really good defense. And what helped?
You're talking about Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah, Pittsburgh is starting to lose some pieces, and that's kind of important. I was a little worried. It's like, oh man, Cleveland's just going to be able to run for like 400 yards today. They did. They honestly, I think they should have run the ball more. It was super effective for the most part. They probably would have won by more, but I was happy to get teasers.
If they didn't have a 10-over lead at halftime, the game probably plays out differently. But Cleveland managed 3.5 yards per play today. That stinks. DTR was 24 of 43. The fact that their game plan had him throwing the ball 43 times is okay. He was not good. He is
I
not good.
didn't understand what Cleveland was kind of doing with him.
I guess I will say this is the pain for me in this game because I caught Steelers money line at the Pico best price available. I got 4-2, which got home, so I can't be a super baby about this. But they buried the Browns on special teams and then did a nice job. TJ Watt finally gets on the stat sheet, sacking DTR and forcing a punt from deep in the Browns end zone. They get the ball at the 48. They get a 12-yard gain on first down, and then 1st and 10 from the Cleveland 40. This series fucking hurt. Kenny Pickett incomplete, short left. Najee Harris lost 5
all
yards
those second half,
ground.
all those second half drives were just pulling teeth. It was like watching.
And then
dentistry.
it was a screen pass for 2 yards to Jalen Warren, and it was literally like, okay, we're not taking this seriously. We are literally going to punt it back to them at this point instead of try to get just enough to get a field goal attempt. And instead, they gained 0 yards of offense, I think, the rest of the game. The 8-play, 48-yard drive that the Browns led to kick the game-winning field goal was not that special. I don't think there was anything magical about it. Steelers just kind of ran out of bullets, I guess, on defense.
I mean, they were playing with a single shotgun to start with, but
yeah, that's true.
I mean, and that defense, like I said, it started to have some holes, and yeah, they were just starting to lose the field position game there. That last drive, they didn't go anywhere. They punted from their 30. It wasn't a great punt, and yeah, like you said, you only needed 50 yards to get that last kickoff. Cleveland gets another kick. I think in the grand scheme of things, I was cheering. I know you wanted Pittsburgh to get home. That'd have been great. But in the grand scheme of things, I think a Cleveland win was better for the Ravens to win the division. Because going forward,
by a lot.
Yeah,
clearly.
I mean,
there's no question.
They're more fucked. Yeah, going forward. So I was happy that it was we get the teaser home, but also Cleveland did end up winning the game. And I don't know. We'll see. We're going to sign Flacco, and then it comes out Flacco is just a mentor. I know teams lie all the time. We'll see how that goes.
Andy, you want to guess how many punts we had in this game?
13?
17. There were 17.
I thought I was going high.
17.
There was only like one turnover.
Oh my god! Pittsburgh punted 9 times. Cleveland punted 8. There was only one turnover.
How many times?
9 for Pittsburgh.
Times.
9 punts. 8 for Cleveland. Just pathetic. All right. Arizona, Houston closed 5.5, landed 5. Houston wins despite a bunch of turnovers. They did everything they could to try to let Arizona into this one. Arizona decided, now we're good. We're just going to lose by 5. I don't have any thoughts.
I played this at 5 earlier in the week. I added on to it with some, not a lot, but I had some 5.5 today, which I don't know how I feel about that side getting home. I think Houston was clearly the better side. But I did play this over, and I feel very tilted about that. There was like 750 yards, a couple of end zone interceptions, a couple of turnover on downs in the red zone. Like there should have been 50 plus points here, but that's what you get when you bet totals. Sometimes things happen, and you get a 31 point first half that probably should have had 38, and such is life. I know they were missing Wilson, which hurts. You don't have a lot going for you on offense.
Noah Brown also not available.
Yeah, you can't be. Yeah, even with Wilson out for Arizona, Noah Brown out for Texans, I still like this over. And yes, Stroud turnovers were a little troubling going forward. Something to watch. He still was obviously money against a bad defense. These are 2 very bad defenses. That was a big part of the handicap. Just like these are teams that have been able to throw the ball. Kyler's a huge upgrade. Yeah. We should be able to get to 20, 25 each.
Houston doesn't deserve an upgrade for this performance, but boy, oh boy,
No.
did they improve their chances of winning the South. This was big, big, big. They needed this one.
I mean, even just a wild card, man. Like they're in really good spot right now.
Yep. Chargers, Green Bay. I mentioned off the top, this was my biggest need of the day. Needed the Green Bay to get the victory because I first played plus 3.5 and then doubled down with the money line. I don't really have any takeaways here other than it's absolute. You need like take a Prilosec before watching a Green Bay game that you have a bet on Green Bay. Because boy,
especially when
it's
it's
hard. They make it so hard, man. They make it so. Green Bay made it so hard. It didn't have to be that hard. I don't really know what else to say here. The procedural stuff, the dinking, the giving the Chargers multiple times at the end of that game to come back it was a tough hang. Ultimately, the play of the game was the Quentin Johnson drop that probably would have been a touchdown for the Chargers on their final drive. Quentin Johnson not having a season that he's going to be covered in glory.
Chargers, yeah. I didn't catch a ton of this one, but I did catch parts of the second half. Basically, all the funny parts where Quentin Johnson drops a walk-in touchdown. Keenan, and that was weird with the shadows. Like he had the sun right in his eyes. I give him a little bit of a leeway there, but I mean he dropped it. They're standing in the end zone there, and then I mean multiple other moments where they probably
the Chargers fumbled at the 1 yard line on a play where Eckler fell down when he got handed the ball and got up and then fumbled. That was another. Just how are you finding ways to do this? I will say that the Chargers have a problem, Andy. Keenan Allen was not right today. He was beat up. They targeted him 16 times. He is the only offense. That's not good for them. And Austin Eckler is up against the weak-ass rushing defense of Green Bay that is schematically deficient. He was not the leading rusher for the Chargers. It was Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert managed 73 yards on the ground. Eckler could only get 64.
That was the toughest. That was the toughest part about this game.
You're just not rostered to win games this way.
Like, go look at just like rewatch the game. Go look at the box score. Whatever you want to do. Like, there's no way you can look at it from any angle and say like Justin Herbert didn't have a really good game. Yeah. If your star quarterback that you are building your franchise around going forward has that good of a game and you lose to the Green Bay Packers, who are just not better than an average team right now. Like I get it's on the road, but if you get that kind of performance out of your quarterback and you have enough gaffes at the end where you lose this game, you got to probably do something. I don't know if it's just like cleaning. I think the coaching staff might end up getting out of there at the end of the year anyway. But like, did you see the presser with with Staley?
No,
answering. No. So somebody did ask him, and he's been asked this repeatedly. They said, "Will you still be calling defensive plays going forward?" Yes. And he snapped at the reporter, saying, we can stop asking that. We're done asking that question. Basically, like I'm going to call defensive plays. You don't need to ask that question anymore. Like he got kind of mad. Yeah.
Well, congratulations to Brandon Staley's defense for conceding the first 300-yard passing game of Jordan Love's career.
4-6. It feels Jordan like they're so much better than a 4-6 team too.
Who, the Chargers?
Yeah.
Well, the market's certainly treating them that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Market has them 9th right now. 9th best offense. That's not true. That's not correct. They have them as 23rd best defense. That's not correct. This Chargers team is a
what I saw of the defense too. The Derwin James is hurt, or is he just not good anymore? I
think
can't.
It could be a little bit of both.
I think he must be carrying something because he doesn't look very good. The defense lost Bosa right off the bat. There, he went off on a cart. I'm assuming that's
probably not good.
Probably missing multiple weeks. They're kind of at the spot in the season where you're 4-6 and you're not winning your division. So you got to be, you're vying for a wild card at this point. And
they're going to keep fighting. Everybody there's losing their jobs at the end of the year, one way or the other.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like you're at a spot where the only option is to like get in as a wild card and win several games. Like this saves your job if you're in the AFC title game. But I mean, right now the Bills are not in the playoffs. The Bills at 6-5. You have the Colts, Bengals, Raiders, Broncos all ahead of you. If the Broncos lose this one, I think they might slip behind. But
people are into me having cocktails on the
ways.
podcast for some reason. Cheers, guys. Sunday night. It's holiday week, by the way.
Scissor.
I killed my drink. Having a Negroni. Anyway, the next game on the docket is the one where Tommy DeVito threw 3 touchdown passes and the Giants won. Bad for the Giants long term.
Yeah, not good. Somebody had a good meme.
Bad for the Commanders.
God, who is I can't think of the guy's name. I haven't watched The Sopranos in so long, but the guy from the Springsteen band taking Adriana out into the woods to shoot her. And it was like, and Steve Van Zandt. Yeah, he captioned it. It was like Stevie. Joe Shane talking to Tommy DeVito after the game. Hey, you don't want to win games right now if you're management. It was fun to see him play well, I guess, but I mean the story is pretty much just you can't have 6 turnovers, guys. You're gonna lose to a shitty team who is playing their 3rd straight week on the road, who had a pretty bad quarterback. And I mean, the defense playing bad aside, if you turn the ball over, it's a little steamy, guys.
Tommy DeVito calls the tush push the Dua Lipa. No, that's the over the pile.
Yeah, that's the
Dua Lipa. Yeah, over the pile. All right. No comments on that game. I didn't watch it, obviously. Tennessee, Jacksonville, I did watch.
I know. I'm thinking of like, should I even rewatch this? Because what am I going to learn other than was it 6-0 on turnovers? Or did the Giants have one?
It was
6-0. You had 6 turnovers to none.
Jesus, that's embarrassing.
They outgained the Giants by over 100 yards.
Sounds about right. Good luck on Thanksgiving, Commanders. Tennessee, Jacksonville. There was a healthy amount of buzz that Trevor Lawrence's knee was not right.
I know. I was staring at it and I'm like, I missed the 7. I can't do it. I'm so happy.
I played some Houston AFC South to protect myself.
That's probably a better angle than
in case
anything Houston or anything Tennessee.
Because like Tennessee was still a huge question mark in this game. I passed on the over in this game, as we talked about on the pod on Wednesday, largely just because I was like, I don't know, can you trust either of these teams to score? But I think in general that Jacksonville Jaguars answered every question you had about their offense, right? Like, is Trevor's knee all right? Yeah, it looks fine. Or can they get Ridley involved? Yeah, Ridley was cooking. Can they just basically in general run a plus EV balanced attack? Like they snapped out of it in a lot of ways on offense in this game, and it was against a defense that has a pulse. So I think that's an important takeaway that Jacksonville's offense may be on the regression to the good.
They didn't run very well. I don't know that they will through the rest of the year, but Trevor made up for it. He had a couple of those. I think he had 4 or 5 designed runs. He had the 2 touchdowns on the ground. He looked good. That was, right away, because the big narrative all week was, oh shit, like what if his knee isn't good? And this isn't a good game for that. They have a couple guys up front who, could get to him if he's not super mobile, but he was fine. He was very mobile. He looked good through the air. Obviously, like you said, Ridley had a good game, and Tennessee's not very good.
We can't go with Pastronaut as a nickname because number 1, it's stupid, and number 2, he's getting it done on the ground. He's not throwing; he's getting it done with these scrambling touchdowns.
Something with the Mars rover.
Can I get a just a general correction one way or the other on whether the pick that came back for?
It was blatant. He threw the guy down.
Blatant, okay.
He only caught it because he kind of
he interfered. Okay.
It was very.
All right.
Those are the only ones I like, where it's like, all right, you only made a play because you clearly interfered. Refs haven't been bad tonight.
Pastronaut it doesn't have the
a certain je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
He threw the wide receiver down.
Doesn't work.
You can't do that. They will call that
Okay.
most times.
I wasn't watching. That's why I had to ask. All right. Man. I mean, Jags Houston for everything this week. Like that's a really, 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 really high leverage game.
What do you make?
Really
what do you make
game.
of that line? Just
surprised it's a pick, honestly.
I have Jags even after what I had to do with them last week, and a lot of issues cropped up against a good team. So I kind of said, well, I should downgrade him because these issues exist, but I can't do it too far because it was against a really good team. Even with that, it's like I kind of have the Jags as a favorite, and the market was not in agreement with that. So I don't know. Maybe I have a play already. I should stop betting on Sundays, which is hard because got to put some fun stuff in the newsletter. But man, everything early in the week we talked about, like, oh, should we grab Bears plus 10? Sure. Should we grab Green Bay 3.5? Sure. Like all the early week stuff seems to crush us. The Sunday stuff is tough.
Yeah. Final thought on Pasternak, his nickname. Like, it's got to be cooler. Like, just Spaceman or something is like has more. That has more.
Dr. Spitchemin.
Dr. Spitchemin. Okay. Is he a PhD? Is Dobbs a PhD?
I don't know.
Dr. Dobbs is a funner name than
Dr. Dobbs
and Pasternak. Because Pasternak is like just complicated enough that you're just it's like, huh?
I think people are in on Pasternak, not like excited, but I think you might be the only one ever complain about it.
It's not a good nickname. Sorry.
All right.
Sorry to the Pasternak's family.
Sorry to NASA.
Sorry to NASA. Yeah. Okay. Chicago-Detroit was an interesting game. I had some Chicago money line in addition to a bigger bet on Chicago to cover, and fucking A, they should have won.
Late.
They fucking blew it.
So I will say it was a weird. So it was a Schrodinger's money line. You deserve to win that money line on the Bears late in the game. But in general, I don't think you deserve to. I didn't like the look on the money line. I don't think you deserve to bet that because how they looked wasn't good enough. They needed all the turnovers. Yeah. But once they got to that point where they were up by multiple scores, it's like if they lose from here, that's a bad beat at that point.
12 points. There was 12 points with 5 minutes.
But those were crazy efficient drives. Like those. I mean. It goes without saying those were the two best drives the Lions put together. It's crazy that they were able to just put those drives together because they looked good. The Bears defense was tuckered out. They looked a little tuckered, guys.
Yeah. Patrick brings up a very important
my God.
point,
And I thought the 10 was pushing.
That wouldn't have been a loss. It would have been a push.
The math in my head was fucked at the time. I'm like,
was it the last play of the game or would they have kicked the extra point? Like, would it have landed 9?
Oh, that's a good
question. I wasn't.
No, I feel like Detroit did have to.
They had another play.
Did have to like receive the ball. I'm gonna check into that. And I quit watching after that. I'm done with this game.
I was like, oh, safety. Okay, let's just. 22 seconds were left, and they kneeled. Okay. All right, so that would have been.
They would have kicked the extra point. 10 pushing on a 10 would have been pretty rough. I mean, and people who played it late, I mean, they got steamed all the way down to 7.5 on game day. Like people who played it late, that would have felt really bad. That might have supplanted the I think I threw an R and supplanted there. The New England safety, if that would have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's a pretty bad one.
Yeah. This was
to not cover, like if you had an 8.5 to not cover 8.5 when you were up by 12 with like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh shit, it was even crazier than that, right? Was it up 12 was 4 minutes to play. Yeah. Holy shit.
If you push 10 up 12 with 4 minutes,
oh my God.
And that just walked down the river, guys.
Yes. I've been pulled me out of that. Yes. Some fishermen, please
get the dredge boats.
Get my body back to the family, please.
Yeah, and then Lions teasers. People who did tease Lions down, sweating that 2-point. Nothing makes you feel more alive than sweating a 2-point conversion. When you had the when you need it for the cover. And it's like, because, the extra point is one thing. You're kind of holding your breath, but the 2-point conversion, that's 50-50, guys. Oof. It was a good play. Both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion.
Major
really
takeaways though from this game. We can stop talking about the actual outcome for a second. The Jared Goff has some limitations as a player. We know this. He showed them today. I think
it's because it was outdoors on the road, and that's where he struggles. I mean, I couldn't believe he was doing this.
Yeah, he threw some bad passes, and he just wanted to do that from time to time. The takeaway I had though was that the Lions were able to generate 2 really impressive touchdowns on the ground. Impressive in just that they needed them and they got them. Mm-hmm. They weren't especially impressive in terms of how they actually got those, but you know what I mean. But they got 115 yards, 5.2 yards per carry on 22 carries against a Bears defense that had been basically stopping everyone on the ground. And I think if you can get that going against the Bears, that's a pretty dang solid sign that you're going to be able to, you're going to be able to enforce your will on whoever.
I mentioned that the Bears looked tired out at the end, but when Goff wasn't throwing interceptions, they were moving the ball. And like you said, they were running the ball at a decent clip, especially late. And to do that against a team that's looked really good against the run lately.
0.22 EPA per play for the Lions on the ground today. Wow. That's a big number. That is a big number against the Bears, especially.
Did you see what Fields did, though?
No. Tell me about it.
I mean, just like the defense looked sketchy at times. Yes. And, Justin Fields as a passer, we were a little worried that wouldn't look great because of the thumb. He was okay, but he ran for 100 yards.
Yes.
Like they did and granted, it's not like it was on 10 carries. He did tote the rock more than anybody on the team.
Oh, yeah. No. The Bears, I give the Bears head coaching, offensive coaching, give them their flowers because that was exactly the right game plan to be successful on offense, I thought.
Yeah. That's what I'm wondering is like, this team can't handle a mobile quarterback. Well, luckily they don't have to face the Eagles in the playoffs.
That's the problem. Well, we don't know if the Eagles are going to be mobile or what. Khalil Herbert was useless today. Despite Fields being absolutely electric on the ground, they were negative in terms of EPA per rush, the Bears, against the Lions team. This Lions defense is going to give up points.
Might be better than Herbert.
I think you might be too.
Foreman got the touchdown, but he didn't do a lot when he got his carries either.
There was some fluky turnovers that really helped the Bears kind of play from a positive game state. The fact that they still couldn't win is an indictment. But the Lions are boy, oh boy, are they sus. That said, they make for a hell of a teaser leg this week, Andy. 7.5 down to 1.5 looks pretty good to me.
As we mentioned, like Aaron, did we even talk about that? Devondre Campbell and Aaron Jones got hurt. Those are maybe your two most that might be your most important piece on each side of the ball. Like and Patrick says, how do you not tease the Lions this week? You can't not.
You can't auto
play.
Right. That's right. You can't not
play that. It is a play.
Yeah. The Pastronaut is playing very well. He is going to win this game, it looks like, for the Vikings. 3 in a row for the Minnesota.
I'm gonna have to shave my freaking body
since losing.
I don't think they're live to win the Super Bowl. Broncos are not tackling well.
No, they're not playing well.
They're getting hits on the running backs 2 yards in front of the line of scrimmage, and it's a 6-yard carry every time.
Vegas, Miami, forgettable game. Any warning signs about Miami from this one?
Their defense looked good. Like it felt like, hey, this was a bad game for Tua, and we saw some problems with the offense. Achane got hurt right away. Hill had the hand thing. Yeah. They're a little banged up. Tua was good enough, but there were some mistakes out there. But I really liked what we saw from the defense at times. I think it is going to be a kind of a tough defense to play down the road.
Yeah.
So
3 picks for AOC.
This is a home game against a bad team. You need to be better than this. They had some drives that ended in some weird ways. I'm not so
It
sure.
was a bizarre game.
Yeah, the second half was very bizarre. There was only 6 points in the second half here. The Miami second half, it was interception right off the bat, missed field goal, and then 3 punts with the 7-point lead. I thought they'd put the gas, the foot on the gas a little more, only up by 7, but it's not one I watched a lot of. This is definitely one of the ones I want to rewatch tomorrow. I don't know, flat off the bye.
I had a Miami play, and there was some fluky stuff in the first half where it was like Miami just wasn't really engaged. Some bizarre fluky stuff, I thought.
I mean, they had a really long drive that ended on downs at the Las Vegas 3. They had the fumble right off the bat. So, yeah, it went fumble, touchdown, downs, touchdown, fumble, end of half.
Weird.
That play wasn't really going to go.
The downs one where they did the flare out to Tyreek and then he got banged up was not great. Although I do think if Tyreek is healthy, and I'm assuming he is healthy, is he healthy? Yeah,
he's going to get that hand X-rayed. So wait for no, but he played after it was injured.
Yeah, right. I assume he's fine. I think
he just coughed the ball up.
He's really, really, really putting some pressure on everyone else in Offensive Player of the Year award category. I don't think anyone's running down Tyreek. He's too fast.
CMC is right there with him in the markets. I'll have to see what it reopens at, but I mean, the guy, what if he just has like 25 touchdowns at the end of the year? It's hard to ignore a really good team, and if he does 1,000 and he has 25 touchdowns. Like, how many touchdowns do you think Christian McCaffrey has right now through 10?
18.
Is it that many already, you think?
I have no idea. I honestly have no clue.
He has 9 rushing, and I know he has a few receiving. 18. I thought you knew, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't think so. So he has no receiving touchdowns. What am I looking at here?
That can't.
Oh no, I got to add it up. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, he has 13 touchdowns combined. Yeah.
No, 14. 9 and 5.
Oh, I don't have today's box score in there. And
yeah, 9 and 5. He's got 14. So not that crazy. All right. So I don't think he can catch him. That's my sincere opinion. Let's let me kind of final point on Miami. Any questions you had about this team, offensive line or the defense? Like, those aren't real things anymore. Like, the defense is good and getting better. The offensive line is good and getting better. As long as they stay healthy at the wide receiver and quarterback position, the Miami is going to be, they're probably your number 2 team in the AFC right now, and I think it's probably not close. I know that I'm saying that knowing Baltimore's got Lamar Jackson and they're amazing. I think Miami's probably number 2.
It's hard to have 422 yards and only score 20.
Yeah,
you have to fuck up a couple times on the other side of the field, basically. So they survived. It was a survive game. Good for them.
Dallas wins and covers on the road as huge favorites. They answered some questions, which are namely, is this team just going to bully every lesser team they play? The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Your quadruple A hitter against triple A pitching felt very appropriate.
3 for 4 with 2 doubles and 6 RBIs tonight against just a meatball tosser down in triple A Omaha.
Funniest part is that the offense the Cowboys got to 33 points. Offense wasn't that good today. 4.6 yards per play, 311 yards of total offense. They avoided turnovers, but they weren't that great. There was a defensive special teams touchdown again.
That guy has 4 now.
Dude,
it's the same guy. It's his Bland. He just
Bland has another one.
He tied. He has.
That was like the Diggs special from a couple years ago. Remember when people were talking about Diggs as defensive player of the year because he had like a touchdown every other game? Like now it's Bland. How in the world?
Tied the all-time record. 4 is the record. He has, the 40% of a season left to try to break this record now.
Oh my God.
And I mean, it was a good play by him. It wasn't just like right play, right place, right time. Hit a tipped ball that came to you by accident.
Yeah.
And he did a good job. He did this beautiful little roll where he rolled into standing up like a little acrobat, and that was great. Cooper Rush finished this game out. That's how out of hand it got in a home game. Wasn't too nasty at first, but I mean, just kind of anesthesia. Or Novocaine, give it a long enough time, it works. Pollard had a little more juice today. Dak was good, but again, he didn't have to be that good. It was a inferior competition here. I'm a little miffed that Denver's moving the ball now. Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, Dallas is unbelievably good against bad teams, especially. Carolina is a joke. I don't know what else to say. You played a little Tampa today. Did you get 14?
I got 13 and a half.
Oh, you know what they call that in the business, Sandy? They call that a winner.
They call that getting. Oh, I don't know if it was a little lucky. Like it felt like Tampa was moving the ball nicely at times too. They had a couple empty drives. Like I think every number should have covered against the Niners in that one. And it was a bit of a sleepy spot for San Francisco. Like they looked fine. Purdy was amazing. I shouldn't even say Purdy was really good. No, Purdy was great. Go look at his stat line. Go watch the game. That was a really good game from him. They just didn't need him to rack it up here. They have a Thursday game, baby.
Yeah, San Francisco out to 7. I think that's correct. Seattle, LA. Don't have a lot of thoughts on this other than the Seahawks are not a serious team. They're not serious anything.
Back to Tampa real quick? What do you think of them as like a wild card team?
I could get there. I mean, the 7s.
Because I mean, if Seattle loses to a team, they're going to be a touchdown dog too, and they're 6-5 suddenly. Bucks are 4-6. They're not, they're not right there, but the teams in between them, it's the Falcons, the Rams, the Packers. Like Baker's good enough to get this team to the playoffs, which is kind of an indictment on where the NFC is right now. But yeah, up to Seattle here. That game kind of was weird at the end, man, because it felt like the Rams were making bad decisions, and then it looked like they were going to get punished for it, and then they didn't. And I couldn't believe Carroll was just like, oh, let's just like a
55-yarder. We can probably make that.
Who needs to get that close?
55
really weird. Run the 25 seconds left. Run it up the gut.
Yeah, I didn't mention this when we were talking about San Francisco, but Brock Purdy has the total EPA generated in the NFL. He has the lead by margin. He is dominating in total EPA so far. There are going to be people that are going to be talking about it. Just gird your loins.
Gird them.
He might win. I will say I have no thoughts on Seattle Rams. I have medium thoughts on Jets Buffalo. Is it possible we've seen the last of Zach Wilson? Possible.
They brought that up. That was a little surprising that suddenly now, especially after what you saw from Tim Boyle.
I've been told over and over again he gives them the best chance to win, Andy. I don't know. I'm confused. I'm having a tough time figuring this out. Boyle's useless though. Yeah, he is useless.
I mean, they're 4-6, and I mentioned I'm trying to shit talk the NFC teams, but like the Bills, the Colts. Even the Raiders and Broncos are ahead of the Jets right now.
Yeah,
like that. I don't know what they're like. Oh, we got to save the season with Tim Boyle. Like, first off, that's dumb to like. Hey, we should save the season, try to make the playoffs. Second of all, you're not going to do it with Tim Boyle. I don't know if they sign someone or if they have somebody else on the practice squad that they can elevate. Boyle's very, very bad. Yeah.
The trade deadline has come and gone, and they did not make an offer for Mike
sign
White.
Foles.
Yeah,
that would be better than this.
Yeah, I mean it's atrocious. It's a joke. Buffalo's defense needed this get right game so fucking bad, and they got it.
Do you know what bet I almost made today, Drew? I shouldn't even say almost. I almost made a bet on this game that would have lost in spectacular fashion.
Okay. What bet?
I was just looking at metrics for team defense and
You were going to play the
and
over?
I was going to play Jets team total over.
Oh,
I looked at
no.
I looked at the metrics. I looked at like what was left on this defense, and I thought about it for like 30 seconds. I even went and looked at a price.
Yeah.
And I said, I just can't do that, man.
The problem
that's gonna be like being constipated for 3 hours. Nobody needs that.
The problem is the
talked
Jets
myself out of
offensive
it
line.
pretty quick. Yeah.
Well done by you. The problem is the Jets offensive line is an atrocity, and the one good thing that the Bills have left on defense is a pass rush. So they were able to take advantage of that, and that was about all that was that. The Bills defense is going to concede 30 plus to the Eagles this week. That is my sincere opinion. Let's move on to
I don't understand how that's not openers, because like the Eagles defense can be very much had in the secondary as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like that total's probably low.
I made 2 bets so far, Andy.
Let me pull up Chris and Bookmaker.
I played San Francisco 6.5
online.
That's out to 7 minus 115. Seattle does not
too much CLV. What do you think? Let's say, Drew, hypothetical. Tomorrow it comes out like Geno was not okay. He somehow miraculously came in. He's out. He's missing 2 weeks at a minimum here. Drew Lock is in. Are we at a 10?
10?
I mean, 10 and a half?
10 and a half, 11, yeah.
I mean, what's materially different about this week and that this week?
It's probably a 2-point deal. 2.5. I mean, Geno's he's not being rated well right now by market, so maybe it's not that big of a deal. I don't know. Maybe it's not that big of a move. I think San Francisco's bet. The other thing I did is played a Detroit Miami teaser. We got a Black Friday game, Andy. Miami at the Jets.
It's in the middle of the day too. So perfect.
Hell yes. Great kickoff time. That's going to be super fun. I think the Miami Dolphins can win by 1.5. So I put them in a teaser. I think the Detroit Lions can also win by 1.5. So I put them in a teaser.
This guy's newish. Like he's only been around. I feel like he's only been in the chat for a few weeks, but he's had some good ones. So are you saving the New England Giants analysis for Patreon? Yeah, that's a game that's going to happen, guys. Whew.
Yeah. That's a game that's going to happen, guys. Tommy DeVito versus Zappy, I guess.
I don't know. It's crazy that we're benching quarterbacks for
quarterbacks. Rapid fire thoughts. Oh, I need more time to digest Jacksonville, Houston. I need more time to digest Baltimore Chargers. I need more time to digest Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. I don't need more time to digest Buffalo, Philly. 47 is freaking joke of a total.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet that over today.
That's the worst total of the year so far. No doubt in my mind. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that lands under 47.
I mean, Diggs gets hurt like right away.
Yeah, that would actually be. Well, then you're just counting on 42-8, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Both of those teams should have high success rates against these defenses. What they do well works, and in Philly's case, it's just the fact that they're a good offense versus a beat up defense. Yeah, I like that. So over on that one, you like the San Francisco. I'm not super sold on it yet.
Hey,
I'm pretty close to market, but I can be talked into an alt.
I just played 6.5 because it was trending 7.
Yeah, I think you got a good number.
7. Yeah. The Rams.
I mean, Lions. I'll probably do a Lions.
Should the Rams be favored on the road, Andy?
Let me see what I have here.
Arizona is catching points at home. Interesting.
I've been higher on the market with the Rams than most people, I think, but like to the point where I had to talk myself out of taking
another field goal.
That was another one where getting the number very much mattered today too. But Cup, they're talking ankle sprain here. So
Broncos 2 field goals away from taking the lead, Andy.
Are we possibly looking into an Arizona money line here? Yeah, Cup. That didn't sound like. Hey,
no, I would be surprised if Cup plays. I'd be very surprised if Cup plays.
I want to look at that matchup with the defense, but I'm close on like an Arizona money line in that one.
Okay.
I could be talked to. That should be a pick. It's 2 at some places. Chargers Ravens.
I need more time to digest that one.
That's a toughie. I'm thinking that's a pretty good number. I probably won't be involved in that. That's about my stomaching point on both sides of that.
All right, we'll revisit that on Wednesday. How about that? Or whatever day we record we should talk about what day we want.
Oh yeah,
I'd like to do it Tuesday.
We might move stuff
if you
around.
If you can do it Tuesday, let's do Tuesday.
I don't think I have anything Tuesday on this.
Let's do Tuesday.
Figure that. Oh yeah, let's go early.
All right, that's wrapped in. Let's call it. You can
one more.
Oh yeah, go ahead, hit me.
I have the Jags favored on the road against the Titans. Can you talk me out of that?
Dude, it's against Texans.
It's Texans. Excuse me. Yeah, I really don't have a lot of respect for the Texans defense.
It's a really tough one, man, because
I think it's another over I'll lose.
The over is the over.
It's 47. It's
probably just the right bet though. Like neither of these defenses can really hold each other down, and you're still selling high on Jags D. You're buying into the Jags offense, which has proven that they're kind of back. Yeah, I mean Jags are pass, but I don't know, man.
There's some 47s out there. I think I'm gonna look a little deeper into that. I don't hate that over, although I'm not sure I've won an over for the last month.
I don't remember the last over I won. It's been a while. All right, man. Well, hopefully this second half under hits in Denver, and we can get our
let's get a 10-minute drive in Minnesota.
End our weekend with a nice little winning ways. I like it.
Hey, guess what? We will text. Not text. We don't have all your phone numbers. We'll put it on the Twitter machine. We'll mention it in the Discord.
We will communicate it to you.
We'll let you know what time we're going to record because, with travel, I'm actually going to be a little out of pocket Wednesday night, too. I kind of forgot about that until you said something. We're probably going to do this like Tuesday afternoon, man.
Oh, the Jazz are going to blow this cover in overtime. Oh, Christ.
Jazz are in overtime?
Oh, God. You assholes. Oh.
Every game has had like 250 points today, Drew. All right, tomorrow's game. I'm leaning Chiefs. If you have Chiefs under a 3, under a field goal, that'd be the play. I'm not super psyched about it, but
yeah, I played same exact handicap.
3, 2.5's good. 3 is probably not a bad.
All right, best of luck, guys.
See you guys. Yeah, and if I were about 10 years younger, Wednesday night is the get home to your hometown. And
there's a name for that.
Get drunk with the locals. It's like Friendsgiving or
reunion night.
Yeah. Oh man, I've torn up 5 bars.